Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxchair, on the show this evening. Is the good, the bad and the ugly. We'll be joined by Jaffa, Southside and Bridgeman. How are we doing, Southside?
I'm good, mate. So I'm the good one. Good to be on with your good self. And also with the bad and the ugly.
How are we doing, Jaffa?
I'll let the rest of you decide who's that. I'm doing great, mate. Thanks for having me on.
How are we doing, Bridge?
Oh, thank you very much for having me on, like Jaffa said there. And I am the ugly, for sure. For sure. Can I say a big good evening to you guys? And it's magic to be online with the Southside and Jaffa. And obviously the techie guys. Like, and Terry, can you say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, Battle Fever's on. Huge, huge game tomorrow. Biggest game of the season. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Good to have you back, Mucker. Now that you've passed the fitness test, Bridgeman.
He and Ibrox and on the treatment table, was he?
I think he's fitter than most of our players, mate, if I'm being honest. How are you, Jaffa?
Great, Ox, yep. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. Can't wait. It's been a long 2 weeks, I have to say. So good to have some football back, pal. Looking forward to it.
Here, the real football. Southside, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, mate. Looking forward to tomorrow. This is when our season starts. It's a bit like my Super 6, mate. Starts this weekend. So, looking forward to the night and really looking forward to Tynecastle and Mora, pal.
I've got to say, it's a very popular feature, Southside, but I don't know if it's popular. You're not doing so well or popular, so we can rip it out of you, Biggie.
I've heard a few. I've seen get my knitting ripped a couple of times off you, but I think I started like Rangers, didn't I? At the start, got us into the Champions League, played 2 good games, I had some good results at the start, and then I'm a bit like Rangers. I went off the boil a wee bit. But this is it. This is a weekend, mate. This is it. A Rangers win and a Super 6 win. Positive as in.
All right, big shout, putting his neck out there again, Jaffa.
Well, he can only go. Like, can't he? After last week's performance, it can only get better. But big man's doing well. He's still up. He's still got a couple of pound in the bank. It'll be good to see what his shout is this week.
We will hear later on.
Can I, in my defence, by the way, for last week, Jaffa, right? We weren't actually doing the Super 6, right? And just as I was about to come on, he went, "Here, I hope you've got one." And I said, "No, I haven't, because it's international weekend and there's some crappy games in England," and he forced me to do one. So I had to sort of do it on the spur of the moment. So I do apologise for last week. Is
that the best you can do for defence?
Well, you were the one that fired it in just about extra time, didn't you?
I'll pass you on to the defence expert. Bridgeman, that's one of the worst I've ever heard of.
Man's a shocker, all the way, a shocker.
All right. Big game tomorrow, big game tomorrow, right? Who wants to start? Southside.
A massive game for the Sox. I think it's like we've said, hoping this kick-starts a league. Hoping we'll have a few players back to refresh the squad. And really looking forward to it. Hearts have got a danger, I suppose, Shankland, Nick's goals, and obviously they've got Barry Mackay. But listen, if we pick the right team, Cholak's in fire at the moment, scores goals. Like to see a wee bit more creativity into the midfield. But really looking forward to it. I don't think we've got anything to fear. I know our form's not been great, but do you know what? You part that. This is about what we do now for tomorrow onwards. And like we say, we're only 2 points off the lead. We've got an incentive. Not that we should need one. So I'm really looking forward to it, mate. And I'm just hoping that, first of all, we get to 3 points. And I'm not too worried about a performance. I'd like a good performance, but most important thing, mate, is get us out of the line tomorrow with 3 points.
Aye, I get that. Jaffa, should we be concerned about a team with Lauren Shanklin and Barry Mackay with the greatest respect to both boys, yeah, who have no beef with? But should we be concerned, really?
No, we shouldn't be. I mean, look, decent players. I'm not going to decry any professional footballer. I played football at a far higher level than I ever got to. The lads, and in particular Barry Mackay. And I have to say, Shanklin did, the Southside says, he tucks the ball away, give him a sniff and he'll put it away. But with the level of footballer that we've got at our team, and if we go out with the right attitude tomorrow, and the tempo's right, Ox, then and we move the ball at pace, and instead of that sluggish way that we've been seeing too often this season, then I don't have any concerns. And as Southside nails it, we pick the right team, we get the 11 players on the park, and the 5 subs that are due to come on and get them involved in the game. With the firepower we've got on the bench and the squad that we've still got, even though we've got serious injuries, we should take care of Hearts tomorrow. And it's all about the attitude for me, 100%, Ox.
Attitude, good word, mate, good word. Bridgeman, what's your thinking?
I kind of agree, short bits the lads have said, but really and truly, at the end of the day, no, we should not be worried. As a club, as Rangers, we shouldn't be worried about any team, no matter what it is. We know that Hearts are going to be difficult and get stuck into and so on and so forth, and it's their home pitch. But we still, as a club, we're far, far bigger and better than them, and that's the truth. And we may not be playing like it sometimes. That's why I'm saying in some areas we're at the back contention. But seriously, we should go there. We play, we win. Simple.
Here, I agree. Right, okay, we're going to hear for the gaffer, if that's all right with you, chaps. And we'll hear what Giovanni's got to say after a couple of weeks of rest for our players. Let's hear for our manager, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Can you give us an injury update ahead of the match in Tynecastle?
We do have no new injuries, so players who came back from the international games they're all fit to feature tomorrow, so that's good. Apart from the players who are already back before the break, we don't have any players available from the injuries we had back then.
Can I ask, is Tom Lawrence going to be available for you tomorrow?
No. Tom's still not available for tomorrow's game.
I was just wondering to get your take on how Ridvan Yilmaz has settled in at the club, how you feel he's doing, and when we can expect to see him playing a little bit more and getting some more game time.
Well, it's Ridvan is, of course, for him, it's a new club, new country. He's settling in really well. In the beginning it was a bit hard for him to get settled, but I see improvement in his training. So in his behavior, he's more settled in with the players. So for me, that's it's always good to see. And we'll have to see in the next coming weeks. That he will feature more in the team. So depending also, of course, his training sessions and also what we need in games.
If we look at how Celtic dropped points against St Mirren, and that seemed to give, amongst the fans, give them a real lift. Do you think that, along with the international break, has this given you a real chance to reset the team to go again in the league?
Well, reset. Of course, we had some disappointing results in the last weeks, especially the away game against Celtic. Of course, Champions League, two big defeats. I think the win against Dundee United helped us in the sense of getting back to the 3 points. I think that's all we can do, just to stay focusing on winning our games, and that's the most important thing we have to do, and we have to continue with that. We still have big game tomorrow against Hearts away, so we want to continue the run of winning in the league, and then I think that's the focus we all have.
Good to be back with the domestic football. Obviously, the national team's given everybody a lift in Scotland, but I think everybody looking forward to getting back into the excitement of the league. Obviously, huge test for your side tomorrow against Hearts. We're always strong at Tynecastle. Just interested to hear your take on Hearts and how impressed you've been by them in the last 18 months or so.
Well, it's been, they're always gives us, a tough game, as you can expect. Also, the Scottish Cup final we played a couple of months ago, they had a good game. So really pleased for them to see them play in Europe, also for Hearts as a club, but also for Scottish football. So it's good to see them also performing in Europe. And, we analyzed them well. And, we always have a tough game away against Hearts. But, the last couple of games, they were a very positive game for us. The outcome was very positive. So we have to show the same spirit we showed them before at their ground and do everything we can to get the result there we want.
Hi, Giovanni. I know you said there that there would be no players back from injury for this game, but specifically in terms of Maroof, Ben Davies, Philip Lander and John Tuka, can you give us a kind of a profile of them, a timescale of what you're looking at with those four?
Well, I mean, Ben is back in the squad. Ben Davies is in the squad with John Suter. I think we will expect them after the World Cup. So that's very long term still. Same for Philip. I don't know a timescale for his injury. So Ben we have back in the squad, and Kamar Roof is training now. Big parts of the training session with us. So we need to keep assessing him in his load as well, and to see when he's back. But hopefully it's rather sooner than later, especially for Kamar himself, but also for me as a coach.
I wonder if you could tell us what John Suter's injury is and the sympathy you may have for him, given his injury problems over the years.
Well, I have a lot of sympathy for. He has problems, we had before. Till he brought the problem with him when he changed teams, and we needed to operate him again. So he feels much better now. It's always difficult to play with pain. So, this first time in many months that he's pain-free now, and he can do his rehab. So hopefully that's the end of all the difficult times he has, and bring him back to full fitness and get him going.
Hi, Gio. Just a quick one. Have you made a decision on your striking situation for Tynecastle tomorrow? Obviously, Cholak's in great form, but Morelos still needs game time.
I've made my decision, yeah.
Would you care to share it?
No. You'll see tomorrow.
Well, thanks for that. Well back, lads.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. The injury update was lengthy, but it wasn't a surprise. I think the disappointment, I think we'd all be looking, hoping that Tom Lawrence would have been back. Jaffa?
Yeah, I was hoping from the kind of information we got a number of weeks ago was that it was nothing too serious. I think the word innocuous was used at one point by somebody from the club. So I didn't think it was, it was going to be as lengthy as it's been, but clearly it has been more serious than it was. The thing that didn't tell us was if he was back in training or not. They just said he wasn't available. So these words in these grey areas that get used where we've not getting the clear picture. But it's definitely good to hear that Ben Davies is in the squad tomorrow. That's encouraging. Suter doesn't surprise me, I'll be honest with you. That one doesn't surprise me.
Well, Ben Davies has been in about the last 3 or 4 squads, Southside, eh?
He's been on the bench the last few games. Didn't he sound too positive about him, did he? Or maybe we just not giving anything away. It's a hard one to detect if he was actually. I mean, I'm expecting him to play tomorrow. I would have think we're all expecting him to play tomorrow. I mean, he's had training. I know he's no match fit. It might be a possibility. Also, if you play him tomorrow, you're probably going to look for him to kick on and start playing, and he'll need to play on Tuesday night. Now, whether the match fitness and then once he plays a game, does he feel any effects after it or no? So I think that'll all be taken into consideration for the sort of time that he's not actually played match games.
I can't make my mind up with this match fitness carry on. Pritchman?
I agree with you there. In fact, everybody says a similar thing. They're amazed that the chap was in the squad for 3 games running. And for some reason they never come off the bench. It's obviously not. There's some part of fitness isn't right. And yeah, match fitness is most assuredly a bit of weakness. I think there's an open book now for the Rangers and the players now. They can go and actually play now. That's a good team to play against because they're tough and a good test for everybody. But they need to play at the top of their game. And if a guy isn't fit, then come out and say, I'm not fit, I can't play. Just say it and get it over with. And then Rangers need to get that in their head. If he doesn't pick that chap at any time tomorrow's game, and I'm sure the fans are going to be starting to ask serious questions if they're not started already.
Oh, that's a big call. I would get that. There would be speculation, Jaffa, if he was on the bench again, wouldn't he? You've signed a left-sided centre-half. He's been in the squad for 4 or 5 weeks or whatever it is now, including the break. You would time to train, trying to get build up in training, and he didn't get a kick. People would start wondering, wouldn't they?
Aye, and rightly so, Ox. Like Southside, I've got him down for playing tomorrow. I'd be pretty surprised if he's not playing. Really surprised, actually. If no disrespect to Leon King or James Sands, both of them have been doing well for us and coming in, but Ben Davis, with the experience he's got and where his career has, and the fact that he's a natural left-sider, to fit into the defence and get that balance. And the game or two that he has played, I always thought he looked quite decent, and I thought it showed up a bit of stability in the defence. So I'll be surprised, Ox, if he's not in the starting lineup tomorrow.
Okay, aye. It's a puzzler, Southside, isn't it?
To be honest, I mean, like Jaffa saying, and we all say, there's speculation, we're thinking, why is he not playing? It's always the same. If you're on the bench, you've got to be fit, because there's no point in you're on the bench. And I know he's covered it with Leon King being on the bench, but if Leon King doesn't make it tomorrow and he doesn't start and he's on the bench and that's the only centre-back we've got, well, his hand would be forced if somebody gets injured in the central defence, you would think. But I expect him to play tomorrow. I think it's time he should be making an appearance for the Glasgow Rangers, and I'm hoping that it will. And if he doesn't, it just heaps more suspicion onto what's happening, and Gio will get asked more questions.
Okay. We've got a wee ditty to play, and if you don't mind getting yourself on mute, let's hear it.
Granddad, you're lovely. That's what we all think of you. Granddad, you're lovely. That's what we all think of you.
One of the Rangers radio panellists became a granda today. Big Stevie. Congratulations, big man. Anybody want to have a stab at the name of the young baby girl who was born today? Yeah.
Was it? Could you tell us it was a boy or a girl?
Young baby girl was a big
baby
clue,
girl.
Bridge.
Sorry, I missed that out. Apologies.
Aye.
I'll go for Bridget Mary.
Bridget Mary. Southside.
I thought it was going to be. He did say there was a chance it could be Frances Margaret.
Jaffa.
And my early reports were I thought it was going to be John Paul because he wasn't sure what the sex was.
Dear, oh dear. These boys are awful in a big game. Right, I've got the name. The name's just come through, hot off the press. And I better make sure I pronounce this right. Kayla. Kaila. Kayla was born 7 pound 11 ounces. Mother and baby are doing fine. Congratulations to all Big Stevie's clan. All the best. And aye. Big man's a granda. Well, he's a lot older than me and you, Southside, isn't he?
Aye, definitely. Papa. I don't know. He might get Papa, or he might get Pops. I don't know yet. He was beaming today. I spoke to him today, and he was absolutely beaming. He was so happy and chuffed, and he was on his way up to the hospital. So, well done, and I'm glad for him. Glad for all the family, and I'm sure everybody's happy. And as long as everybody's doing well, that's all.
Would that be El Papa? Yeah.
Well, that's quite a good one, by the way. That's a good one.
That was quick. Yeah, congratulations to Big Stevie and to Baby and his lovely daughter. Health and wealth to all the family.
Here. Aye. Don't know what happened there. Right, okay. Congratulations, big man, and congratulations to all Big Stevie's clan. Good that mother and baby are healthy. That's the most important thing. Oh, he's going to be moaning his skin now, Southside,
I would like to see I'll shell out a few quid, I'm sure, on splashing it out in the new grandkid. But I will probably hear the sob stories, but you know. Maybe to get Bridge to give him a loan.
Interest. A loan, I would think a gift.
What chapels they went in the Wayne's Heed in?
Brum Chapel.
He's already in one.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, yeah, right. Who wants to go first? Right, we'll go with a Bridge experience. The good about the trio. Right, okay, so Bridgeman. First game back, still a few players' injuries. You're Giovan Bronckhorst. Give us your starting 11, mate.
Oh my God, that's a real tough one. Obviously, McGregor. It would be Tavernier, Goldson, Davies, if available. And I'd still play with some Borna in there. I would go with. Let's see, who's going to win the Europa League? Who's going to win the Europa League? What's his name again?
John
Lundstrom. So Lundstrom. I'd go with Arfield. And the names are slipping off now.
Ryan Jack, maybe, yeah?
Wrong, I wouldn't play Ryan Jack because he played midweek. He played midweek. So
played
he might
60
be
minutes
struggling a
Tuesday,
wee bit. Glenn Kamara I would go with. Glenn Kamara. And I would play. Who was I going to put just in front of them? I'd play Tillman, and I would play. What's can't remember. Mantubi. I can't remember the boy's name. I'd obviously play Alfie up front, and I would play Ryan Kent on the left. What's the young lad that we thought he was going to be brilliant, but he's no brilliant?
Oxtear.
Oh, no. The Rangers player. Young coloured laddie.
But Tillman? Oh, Matondo.
No, the other one.
Matondo.
Matondo, that's the one.
You're going to have to write these teams
That's
down.
my
Right,
front
okay. Right, Jaffer, in you come with yours.
Not dissimilar to Bridges, and certainly in the back line anyway. I'm going to push the boat out, Ox. I'm going to go with a 4-4-2 tomorrow. I think it'll be McGregor in goal, Tav, Goldson, Davies, Barisic. Midfield of Wright, Jack and Lundstrom in the middle, and Kent on the left. And Alfredo Morelos and Antonio Colak up front.
Give me that 4 again, the midfield.
Scott Wright, Ryan Jack, John Lundstrom and Ryan Kent.
Did you say Scott Wright?
Yep, Scott Wright.
Thanks for the call, Jaffa. It's good to talk to you. We'll speak to you soon, mate. All right, Southside, in you come.
I think you two better report PHR in the morning. Oh, wow. Right. McGregor, Tav, Goldson. I would play Davies and Borna. Midfields, Lundstrom, Jack, and Jack, and then it's Kent, Tillman, and Arfield, and Colak up front.
No place for Alfredo Morelos, big man?
No, the goal machine starts, mate. We need to create chances. If we create chances, the big man knows where the net is. So there's no need to change it.
Here's my team then. Pretty similar, Biggie. Right, McGregor in goals. Tavernier, Golson, Davies, Borna, Lundstrom, Jack, Ryan Kent, Alfredo Morelos, Scotty Arfield and Cholak. There we go.
You better go HR and on the morning.
Well, whatever Giovanni's done, and he's done in domestic football since the turn of the year, we ain't scoring enough goals, Jaffa. You need your best forwards on the park.
Yep, and that was why I chose Wright out in the right, was to get the service between him and Tav to get it up the line. If he did go with a 4-4-2, I know it's highly unlikely he will, but you never know. You never know. I mean, that could easily go to a 4-3-3. It could be a 3-5-2. It could, it can be fluid. That's what he tends to do, or this 4-2-3-1 that he prefers in the setup. I think most of us are on the same. I looked at Scott Arfield. Scott Arfield's a strong possibility, and he's always good for a goal. Scott Arfield, he gets beyond the line. I just thought with Wright and Kent would give him that natural width that he so desires in his teams. But I would like to see Morelos and Cholak, and I think Tynecastle's absolutely ideal for Alfredo Morelos because it's a bit of rough and tumble.
All right, okay. Southside, do you want to reply?
I just don't see Alfie. I get everybody's point. And I agree. I think he could trial the two of them up front, but he had the chance to do that before when Cholak was on and he decided not to. So I just never see him doing it. I get your point. Play Alfie a wee bit deeper or play him a wee bit wider on the right or whatever. You want to find a space for him in there, and he will probably be a goal threat for us. But I just don't see him doing it. I put Tillman in my team because it's the same thing with Ken. He's the guy that's going to create. Sometimes it'd be good if we could create for him. If he could get a through ball played through him where he's going to run in with one-on-one on the goalkeeper. But we don't seem to give him now many chances. I know he done it in Red Star away, but we don't seem to get that. So he's going to create. And I think with Lawrence missing, we need to get another creative player in the midfield. And I think Tillman might come in. I get Jaffa's point as well. If you play Scott Wright or Matondo out wide, you've got pace and you want to try and get to the byline and get crosses in. I get that. But I think Scott Arfield can break for the deep roll in midfield into the box, maybe go and support Cholak. And I think Tillman hopefully get on the ball in Kent, and that'll be the ones that will create for us.
All right, okay. Right, if Ben Davies isn't playing tomorrow, Davies, Jaffa, we would assume that James Sands will go back in there, or as they're calling him now, Jimmy Sanderson. He'll go back in beside Connor Golson, yeah?
Jimmy Sanderson.
Although in saying that, Ox, he has been, because James Sands been suspended, he played Leon, but he put Leon King in there. So I don't know which one he would go with. Probably my choice would be Sands. I think Sands is more physical, but I guess Leon's got a bit of more of a defender's brain. He's a defensive midfielder. But I would say that would be the natural replacement if Ben Davies is not fit enough to take a position in the starting 11.
Is that a fair comment about Southside? They said there, Bridge, about Ryan Kent, that we've criticised him. His numbers are poor. But I say he's a boy void of confidence. But if we've helped him, he does get a lot of great passes at times neither. So is it completely his fault?
No. There's a whole variety of things that you could say. But the truth of the matter is, there are parts of the game where you can just see, maybe due to a lack of confidence or a dive in confidence, there's something not quite right with the guy, and he needs to get it sorted, because we know he's one of our key players. Simple as that. He's one of our key players, and him on form was a first pick for our game, our team, and that's what it's about. I don't know what is causing his problem. If he has got a problem, and I'm sure he has, then I would suggest that he needs to buckle down and get on with it. I have to say, the team need to support him. There's no good putting a ball out in the wing there, and he's left on his own with 3 men running about him, and they'll kick lumps at him and leave him lying there. And before you know it, he's up arguing and he's going to get booked. That's the kind of things that happens to him. He needs to. We call him names because he've only got a run, that kind of thing, you know. So he needs to do it. He needs to do it himself as well. But we need to help.
I could solve some of his problems Southside. I'll get him new tie-ups for his socks and tell him to leave me alone. One second.
You know what it's like, Ox? We've seen him at Ibrox, you know, and we've noticed that sometimes he does get the early ball to him and he sort of takes that wee touch and that wee touch. And before he's done that, there's another defender came onto him. So you're just wanting to isolate yourself with the defender and just go run at him and just get by him and either cut inside or look for a pass when you get to the edge of the box if you can't shoot. If you're good in the byline, look to pick a player out, and that's what we're trying to do. I think Gio's plan is get our wingers when they're out wide, and when we can get the ball out to them, hopefully they're just one-on-one with the defender. And if the defender gives any of the two of them 10 yards of space to receive the ball, I'm confident whether it be Kent, Scott Wright or Matondo, they should be able to run by them. They've got pace to burn, but they're not doing it enough on the right-hand side, and Kent's been frustrated, and we've all talked about him, but he is our creative player. But it'd be good for us to try and create for him so that he could be running in and goal with a chance to score. We never seem to sort of do that for him, Ox, you know.
Well, the last home game, somebody rolled him in and gave him a sitter for about 7 yards away.
You're right, aye. But I'm just... wingers are all about confidence, isn't they? I mean, we could name loads of wingers that have played for Rangers and they've all been inconsistent. Apart from Laudrup, probably for 3 seasons. But that's the exceptional talent as a winger. But we could list loads of them, Ox, and they've all been inconsistent, you know. So hopefully he kicks on Saturday. That's all I'm looking for. The whole team kick on Saturday and start to put their stamp on this league title.
Well, it's a big game. I'm predicting if we win, we are going to win the next 9 games, or the next 8 games after it in the league, Jaffa. A big call, I know, but I think this one's more as a catalyst.
It is, Ox. It's the biggest of those 9 games, of that block of games. I agree with your point the other night there. If we win those 9 games, I'll put my neck on the block right now and say we'll be top of the league. Because I don't think they'll win their 9 games. And there's no any reason why we can't. Just going back a bit there with the Ryan Kent, Ox, just on that point. The more I have watched and dissected some of the games this season, Ryan Kent in Europe, Ryan Kent's position and what he does in European games doesn't surprise me that none of us really talk that much about it, because he gets more space to be the Ryan Kent, the creative player that he is. I think it's a domestic in the league matches that I think the position that he takes up and the tactics that he's told to play within, I think that's because you're saying about being unfair to him. I don't think that helps Ryan Kent one iota. Not when he's playing against a team that have got 2 blocks of 5 and he's got to try and break it down. I would rather that free roll that he had where he used to go across the front line would be reinstated, or he was given that free rein to do that in those domestic matches. I think you would see a better version of Ryan Kent if that was the case.
So you're blaming the tactics for these performances then?
Part of it, yeah. Part of it.
Okay. Right, Bridge, if it's all right with you, we've got the Port report. You fancy hearing it?
Absolutely. I love it, by the way.
Port's report.
Hello and welcome to Port's Report. The Scottish Premiership returns this weekend following the conclusion of the international break. Hearts will take on Rangers at Tynecastle at 12:30 on Saturday in a bumper Premiership clash. The hosts currently sit 3rd place and could go level in points with 2nd place Rangers with a victory. While Rangers could go top with a victory, overtaking rival Celtic ahead of the 3 p.m. kickoffs, a lot of pressure on Rangers to show fans that they are back. Hearts have made a strong start to the campaign under Robbie Nielsen, winning 4, drawing 1, losing 2 in the first 7 games of the season so far. Having won all 3 of their home games, it's fair to say Tynecastle has maintained its reputation of a very difficult place to go for any team in recent years. Goals have been aplenty for Hearts on their own patch with 9 and 3 outings, creating belief that a special season could be in order if results continue. Although away from home is a whole different story, they've struggled, losing to Celtic, Livingston and dropping 2 points against Hibs in their derby game. Nevertheless, the Edinburgh outfit managed to claim their first win on the road in 2022-23 in their last league fixture. Despite their positive start to proceedings, Saturday afternoon will be viewed as a marker of how far Hearts have come as they look to take a huge step forward in their hunt for European qualification. On the other hand, Rangers take to the field this weekend knowing nothing less than a win will do, due to the opportunity to top the Scottish Premiership, even if it's only for a brief spell. Team news for Hearts. Hearts will once again be without striker Liam Boyce, who's a long-term absentee due to an ACL injury. That will keep him out. Craig Halkett misses out due to hamstring injury, while fellow defender Kyle Rose due to metatarsal fracture. Benny Bingamy continues to miss out as he works his way back from a cruciate ligament injury, so he will be a big miss. Hearts' possible lineup: Gordon, Atkinson, Nielsen, Kingsley, Cochrane, Devlin, Haring, Forrest, Kurtamazoglu, Mackay, Shankland. It's a powder keg clash that could have severe ramifications at the top end of the table. Both Hearts and Rangers will be so desperate to get the 3 points to further propel their season's ambitions. And that's the end of Port's report. Thank you.
I feel as if the poker's coming down a wee bit, Jaffer. He's getting better.
He's getting very good. Polished. Is he still doing that in front of the mirror?
I think that was a tip game to him, didn't it? Aye, fair play him. Very interesting there, aye. I didn't realise they've got injuries as well, so it's no excuse, yeah? Everybody's got injuries, Bridgeman, eh?
Every single team in the country's got them. And particularly the ones that were representing their countries. They might be sort of had to be looked at. And every team that is, you know. I just hope our teams, our players, don't play for their choice team. That's simple. I want them to be fresh for Rangers. That's all I want. Less chance of getting injured. We're bad enough without that, but less chance of getting injured. That's what I say.
Big misses for him, Southside. Do you think he should sway in their favour even more?
They sort of gave it. When they gave their probable team, sort of listening to the players, a few names sort of spring out. Probably the one. I mean, for what they've got missing, mate, you've got players missing, so you can only get what you're dealt with. And I just look at that Hearts team, and apart from 1 or 2 players, I don't think we've got much to fear. I just think we've just got to get on it for the start and dominate the game, get on the ball, and hopefully if we create chances when they come along, we'll take them and the game will be done. So no, Alan Forrest, I think, was at Livingston, and I think he sort of played all right for them as well. I think he's looked as if he's kicked on for Livingston, but it's about attitude and application for us. And as long as that's 100%, then I expect a Rangers victory.
So do I, mate. So do I. Aye. Going back to the injuries that was mentioned at the club. So John Souttar's came in. What didn't he say when he said they came with an existing injury? That could have been somebody picked up if we signed him, Chaffer. You know, we don't know the ins and outs yet.
It could have happened in the cup final, Ox. You know, after the I mean, he'd signed for us by that time. If you remember, he signed for us in January. You know, as a exiting the end of his contract. It was a low risk signing. We all agreed with that at the time. Most of us did. I'm not saying everybody agreed with it, but a lot of us, even on here, said it was a low risk signing. We knew the guy had injury problems. You know, we don't know. We're not privy to what his deal he's on, but I still think overall, I still think John Souttar if he's going to come back, he's out of pain now, and he can work back to the rehabilitation. I still think John Souttar's he's got something to offer our team and our club. I think long term he still will be a good signing, even for later on this season. We're just not going to see him now probably until Christmas time, I would suspect.
No, maybe even later. But as long as when he does come back, he's fit and healthy. Yeah, Bridge?
Well, I think there's a lot of folk in the Rangers area, and fan-wise, think he's never been fit and probably never will get fit from a sustainable level. I hope like the other guy does come back fit, and if it was that problem with his ankle, and the manager says that they fixed it, they think it's fixed, but it's going to take a bit longer from a rehabilitation perspective. So yeah, I don't think many people would expect him to be back this turn of the year. So it's going to be January, maybe February even, before we even start playing football there. And he's basically been signed for a year. Came to us and are available to us in February if we wanted him. Now we can't get him. So good luck to him, but I doubt very much if he's going to make it in the Rangers team. I doubt it.
All right. I've been joined by Big Al. Evening, big man.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Good, mate. Good.
I'm really interested with your during the week there. You've got the callers. I've got a mate in Zambia actually. He works in the Victoria Falls.
Right.
I'll just a wee shout out to him. My bozza Richie. How are you doing, my bozza? I just got that straight out of the Ox. What's his name? Comedy. My bozza Richie. I got that straight out of the Oxford comedy booklet. You like that one?
That was bad, mate. That was bad.
I know. Go for it.
No, it's all right. You carry on. The floor's yours.
John Souttar. The only thing he didn't mention was what World Cup is he talking about? Because is there not another one in 2 years? Absolutely
I just wish him
shocking.
the best, mate.
Sorry. I wish Stevie and the family all the best. Grandad Stevie. El Papa.
Yeah, listen, it's no often the grandfather volunteers to do the breastfeeding, mate. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's a modern world, isn't it? It's
yes.
a modern. I wouldn't put it. No, the best of them. Is that wee Jemba been doing some damage up in the castle, up in the Drumchapel?
No. It's his daughter.
Oh, Stevie got a daughter. All right. I thought the young boy had been floating about there with some MILFs and that.
Stevie's family tree is fairly large, mate.
No, good on him. Look, congratulations, Stevie, and all the best. And hope mother and baby are in fine fettle. And it's another addition, hopefully, to the Glasgow Rangers community.
Oh yes.
All the best, big man. John Souttar. I don't know what you say there. It's absolutely heads must roll for that. If you'd done that in any other industry, you'd be gone. Get your jotters. So. I don't know. I wish him the best. I hope he comes back. But that signing policy should never occur again. Signing players. The same, I think, with Philip Palander. Whoever brought that big boy in, he was a injury-prone striker. And I know we say this is a market. We don't have to shop a market like that. We don't need to shop a market like that.
No, maybe you've got to bite the bullet and not take the risk, Sal. They're not worth it.
No, well, through our long history, who was it the other night? I mean, you go back to Daniel Proda and Jonas Stern, Sebastian Rosen, all top-class players. But as soon as they come to, is it the front step at Ibrox that they do their knee in? I don't know.
Maybe sliding the marble,
well, that's sliding on the marble, that's correct, yes. So that's something that the club seriously have to look at. Who's on the panel tonight? Because it's a mixture of Champions League and Europa League, isn't it?
You've got
Jaffa.
And you've got Bridgman.
Jaffa, a bit unconventional, but I was eating macaroni for my breakfast tonight and this morning, and I was just spat that across the wall when you said we need to watch out for Barry Mackay and the boy Shankland. Come on now. Really? Really? You're on the bag of glue, I think, pal. So really, we should not need to be worrying about them. How do we set up tomorrow? A few weeks ago, before the Celtic game, I said play Morelos and Kovac. I think you've got to have your best players on the park and allow them to carry out their jobs. Like however they get about it, they just come off the park with a win. People kind of with their eyes anyway. No, I don't know if it's desperation, but we're having to look at putting a team together, mixing matching a team together, because the team we've got just doesn't seem to be up for it. I would have Morelos on tomorrow because it is going to be quite a difficult game, and we need players that have got a wee bit of heart and a bit of bottle about them. So I would be playing him tomorrow, definitely.
All right, big man. I can tell you it's not the first time that Jaffa's been involved with glue, and you come, Jaffa.
Why
did they call you Jaffa? That was the early. It's a long story. I'll tell you one of these days. A long story. Aye.
Oh, right.
Hey,
I just did that thought in my head.
You do karate?
My shout was the same, Al. I went for Morelos and Cholak tomorrow for exactly the same reasons. I thought it would be a bit physical. I think it will be physical, and I think Morelos would be right up for it. Be right up for it.
Southside, a physical game always seems to suit Scott Wright, doesn't it?
I think Matondo can come in, show a bit of strength on the right. But no, what we're saying, he's not going to play too, Big Al, and I know we can debate it. I've heard the debate on here for the last week, and Gio said that he's no for playing two up front. He's never done it. So unless he was really desperate or words to that effect, right? And there's a couple of times I think we've been desperate, and he should have, but he still hasn't done it. So for me, you don't take a guy out of our firing line. We bought Cholak to score goals. One of the hardest jobs today at Glasgow Rangers. So if he's playing one striker, for me, it'll be Cholak, I would expect. And I would just hope that we'll be on the front foot. We'll start imposing ourselves against them. It's a fresh start for us all again. This wee mini break should hopefully kickstart us on. We need 9 victories in the league. That's what we need, and there's no better way than starting tomorrow. And it's just about application and attitude, Big Al.
But who's the players that are going to impose themselves? Tell me the players that they can't.
Well, what I would do is I'd have Lundstrom and Jack in the midfield to make sure we win that battle in there, and then I'd look to get Kent, Tillman, and I'd have Arfield running in and half. I'd love to play the young boy Charlie McCann and that tomorrow, but he'll no play. So we're going, and the most important thing tomorrow, Big Al, is a result. It's away for him. I think he'll go with Arfield because I think he'll play half and can run in the box and get another body in. Don't think he'd have played if Lawrence had been fit, but we need players that can get in the box and support. And I don't think he'll play Wright or Matondo, and I think we'll take that out. Arfield will play slightly there. And that's what I think tomorrow.
Oh, look, Southside hit the nail right in the head. But because we've no options, but a lot of the players that he says aren't the players that are capable of taking the game in an aggressive style to the other team. Ryan Kent, for a starter. Ryan Jack, I think it'd be a game too much this week. I heard they had a no bad game for Scotland. I just think he'd get run over. Arfield, you're going to get one half at him. He's not going to keep up that intensity for the full 90 minutes. On the right, Scott Wright or Matondo, Tillman doesn't strike me as a player that's able to keep the momentum going and going on to the big hard tackles for 90 minutes either. So I think it's a squad problem. I hope they all come to the party tomorrow. I very much doubt it. I'm not too. We're at a crossroads here, I think. We have to make a decision. And I was reading a thing on Follow this morning, and if you supplement PSV Eindhoven, who was it? Feyenoord. If you take Feyenoord at the couple of paragraphs I read and put Rangers in there, he's doing exactly the same he done at Feyenoord. He's no plan B thing, or he's not willing to change it. So there's big issues like.
Aye. When you said Crossroads there, I was going to talk about one of Jaffrey's favourites, Benny. Can you come?
I like
Bridge
his hats.
look like each other, didn't he? Benny. Bridge, when I met Bridge, he looks like Benny. Oh no, it was Benny Hill.
Jaffa, Crossroads, I think it's a big game. I'd like it to be a springboard. Listen, the clocks haven't went back yet. So, big games. But here's a question for you, all. Will Hearts keep up the policy of playing the reserve games, reserve team before a European tie like they've done in the past this season? Jaffa?
Yeah, no, they'll put out their strongest team tomorrow. They'll put out their strongest team because they technically, I think they can go above us, can they, if they beat us tomorrow?
They'll keep up their policy of concentrating in Europe like they've done against a certain team, Southside?
Nah, I don't know. Definitely no. But we know that. It's the biggest game of the season, isn't it? The Rangers coming to town. So, he'll play a strong team. The strongest team that he can, bar his injuries, obviously, I would imagine.
All right. It'd be interesting to see how it pans out tomorrow. Bridge, always competitive through there.
Yeah, we know they're tough, and their manager wants them to be tough. And I dare say their crowd like them to be tough. And when let's be honest, they'll not be tough against Celtic, and very rarely they ever are. But they'll be tough always, 100%, always tough against the Rangers. They usually need to strike first and then step on their throat. That's my opinion. They need to go for the throat with them and win the game. But don't take any nonsense. Obviously, because of the way I feel and most people feel about the referees are men in black. So we could end up with two Mr. Clancy's refereeing us tomorrow. We'll never win. That's the theory that behind their thoughts. They don't want us to win. So we're up against it. We need to go and do it. It's a tremendous stadium at the moment. Get fair duty Hearts. They're getting games, getting wins up there. So I'll vote over there. So good luck to them. We'll murder them tomorrow. Just murder them.
Murder them. So you're looking for me on the Bridge tomorrow, is that right?
I would accept as much as we can get. I will go for a Bridge, but we should be walking. We should be walking 2-3 goals ahead of virtually every team in our league. And obviously, the team across the city, that's a little bit different because they think the same about us. So, but really and truly, every other team in this country, we should be 2-3 goals ahead of them every game.
All right. Okay. Right. Alan McGregor starting tomorrow. Most people had him in his team. Are you surprised at that? Southside or you think McCrory on the bench? It looks like he's no mentioned McLaughlin coming back, has he? He said he wasn't mentioned in the people coming back into the squad. Unless I missed them, mate.
No, he didn't. He didn't mention him at all. I think he said players that were injured that'll not be back. That's how he included Tom Lawrence in that. And then when somebody asked him about Lawrence, he said, well, he's injured. So take it for that. McLaughlin's the same. You've got to play McGregor tomorrow if he's available and McLaughlin's been out injured. He obviously had to sit and bide his time. I think this has got to be his final season regardless of anything if he keeps the number 1 jersey, and I think he will. But we've got to look for a good goalkeeper for next season. Obviously, it's important, and I'd imagine, like we've said and what everybody spoke about, we've got the team that we've got, the new in the squad we've got, so we're just looking for more to kick on, and Alan McGregor, I think, is going to be part of that going forward as we go in the next run of games, in my opinion.
Jaffa?
Yeah, McGregor for me. I think the defending at set pieces has improved. If it was McGregor who made the call on the zonal to get shot of it, and good on him. If he stood up in the dressing room and said that wasn't working and he couldn't manage the goal with that system, then I'm delighted for that, because I think that was a great shout. I think McGregor's a certainty as we move forward. I think even if John McLaughlin was fit, I think McGregor would play Ox.
Bridge?
Yeah, I think McGregor's proved his worth. I think to be honest, I think Joe McLaughlin had a wee turn and it didn't work out for him. He got his chances. Sympathies for him as well, you know. Hopefully he'll come back into the game, but I don't see him being a number one for Rangers.
Carry
I don't really see much wrong with McGregor, to be quite honest. He's a shot stopper. He stops the ball figure in the back of the goals, and I think that's what you really need after your goalkeeper. If you sort out I know people say he doesn't come out with the ball and the distribution, but that's why you've got other players there. I like him. What was it? Dino Zoff? What did he play? He was world class. Buffon, I think he's still playing, isn't he? Alan McGregor for me is our number one. I think he's there or thereabouts. The great Andy Gorham. I know people. Look, he got that extra year, but if he's stopping the ball figure in the back of the goal, I don't see any problems with it. I know we all want to play it for the back and all this and thing, but for me, I think if you've got better defenders in front of him, I think that shores things up and makes his life a lot easier. And when somebody gets through, he can put that leg out, that hand out, and but you seen him with the penalty the other week there. You know what I mean?
I'll take you to a Buffon expert, Southside.
Fox was coming in there.
Gianni. Gorham, we know as in Alan McGregor, and like you said, I think he's up there close to Andy Gorham now, probably for the amount of times he's had some tremendous games for us. But I think for me, Big Al, we've got big games coming up, and he's proven it in the past. In here, his distribution, see in the Scottish League, we could probably punt the ball up the park. We don't really need to worry about playing too much out the back in the Premier League, because we get the ball back that quick and we dominate the ball in most games. So usually we should be able to in Scotland, but obviously when we move into Europe, we're still trying to play out for the back.
But Europe's not our focus, is it?
No, it's no. Well, obviously it's a focus to a point. We want to try and do something in the tournament, obviously, but for the league, you know, it doesn't bother me that we've had him for how long playing for Rangers. We know he's not great with the ball at his feet, so I just think in Scotland it doesn't really matter. If he has to punt the ball up the park, you punt it up the park. I'm sure we can win it back, and then start imposing ourselves on teams in Scotland is what we should be doing anyway. So that's just the way I see it.
You've got to keep him then.
I would keep him in this season until maybe he makes a few clangers, and then obviously it would depend on what's happening. But I've got faith in McGregor that he's a big time player for us, and that's what you need in your team, big time players.
Correct.
All right, lads, get yourselves on mute because we're going to have a tune.
Who's that cheapy over Rangers? Who's that cheapy over door? They're the boys in royal blue and the Scotland gallant, and they're out to show the world what they can do. Some people say the Almadra's the biggest football team. I've even heard the Anderlecht's the best we've ever seen. There's Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur too. There's Arsenal, Chelsea, Blackburn, just to name a famous few. Who's that cheapy over Rangers? Who's that cheapy over there? They're the boys in royal blue and the Scotland gallant, and they're out to show the world what they can keep me on my door. They're the boys of Royal Blue and the Scotland Down. And they're out to show the world what they can do. Here's a help from us for just here's a help from me to you. And let's hope that every game you're the one to like me. Of the voice of every day with Royal Blue.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All back?
All back.
Yep.
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 All right, okay. Right, okay. I think it's time, big man.
What for?
Oh, well, sorry. South side.
Aye, but time for what?
It's time for the Super 6.
Oh.
Is it? Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for Saturday the 1st of October. My first selection this weekend is Exeter City to beat Bristol Rovers. My second selection is Burton Albion to beat Forest Green. My third selection is Sheffield United to beat Birmingham City. My fourth selection is Norwich City to win away from home at Blackpool. My fifth selection is Leyton Orient to beat Newport County. And my sixth selection is Falkirk to beat Clyde. Taking all six teams returns 29.5 to 1. My Rangers bet for this weekend is Cholak to score first, Rangers to win 2-0, and that pays 28 to 1.
Yeah, well, I'm in. My usual bet on it tomorrow. I'll have a go. Any winnings tomorrow? Get a wee gift for the wee baby that was born. There you go, Southside. That's what I'll do with that. The winnings tomorrow.
Well, that sounds very generous. I'm sure it'll be a certainty tomorrow. So that's what we're going for, mate.
The winner will be getting anything then, eh?
Well, I'll tell you what, Big Al. I'll tell you what.
I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it. I've just written it down. I've just written it down.
Right, you stick that on.
I'll stick that on, and I'll also what I'll do is I'll put it on. I'll reverse it as well. All right, but the losing teams and his winning teams as well, and I'll put them on a line. And I'll put Barry Mackay down for the first goal scorer on Hearts to win 2-0.
I see what you've done there. I like it.
No, I'll put these like Exeter, Burton, Sheffield, Norwich, Leyton Orient and Falkirk. I'll put that down as a win on a line, and then I'll reverse it as well, right? And we'll see how we go.
I don't know if you've managed nothing out of 6, but you've been close a few times, Southside.
Aye, but one of them was Man City 1 week. You know what I mean? They drew. You know what I mean? Aston Villa, no.
Jeff,
no,
do you
well,
a
line, Big Al.
I don't bet, like, that's why I'm asking you. I'm just wondering if these are the teams that you sit and study it and you've got a spare minute in the home, like, McCludgy or something.
What I done is, Forest Green last week, right, I watched them and I had them on both teams to score line and they didn't look very good, right, and I know they'd players who injured, and see Burton Albion that I've took to beat them this week, their team, they kept scoring against me, right, and done my line twice. But there's only been a few games, and it was like Rangers, mate, we're going to kick on tomorrow. So that one's coming up, and Rangers are winning 2-0, or just a Rangers win. I don't care.
How much do you put on that yourself?
Well, I'm doing a tenner on that Super 6 this
I'll
week.
put $20 on it. Mate, so.
I'm putting a tenner on it, big one. Well, I've done it.
going
I've done the
find a
line.
pub.
I have done the line already.
I have backed Southside Super 6 every week since the start of the season, and I have won how much, Jaffa?
You must be a good. You must be about 60 or 80 quid still up.
No. I have backed Southside Super.
You're taking a pound, big man.
Well, the season had just started, right? You know what it's like at the start of the season, big man. Now I'm going to kick on for this weekend, right? This is it. You know, and I had a look at it this week and I thought, right, that's just it. So I've done that, and
Do we
hopefully...
maybe need to wait to after the World Cup?
No, I'm hoping I'll get a few up leading up to the World Cup. There's a few people on here that listen in are obviously doing it. I've heard a few moans and groans during the week when he's been pounding me.
They've been giving you it tight all week, by the way.
So I'm hoping to get everybody happy this weekend.
Aye. Your picking's that bad, the paws are involved.
If wee Davey does it, he might end up with a right bundle of chocolate this weekend.
All the squads at Exeter, Burton, Sheffield United, Norwich, Leighton Orient and Falkirk are all sitting with their hands in their head and they're all like, oh no, big Southside, we're going to get beat.
Oh dear. The only ones that are delighted with it's William Hill. Right, well, fair play to you, big man. I hope it starts tomorrow. At least he's having a go, Jaffa.
That's all you can do. He's a braver man than me. I'll give him that. I can't imagine what my lines would look like Southside, so good luck to you, mate. I'll stick it on as well.
Well, I just want to say quickly before you move on, I think I've got a stalker, because somebody sent me in it. I don't know how they got my number, but they sent me in a Super 6, and I was like, what's going on here?
Aye, well, you're becoming infamous, mate. Infamous. But fair play to you. A bit of interest, bit of fun. And hopefully
can you give us their teams in? We might have a chance of winning some money.
Anyway, we've been joined by old Davey. Evening, Davey.
How you doing, boys? I thought I'd get 3 lad breaks there.
I place some bets, though.
I'll put that on Suicide, don't you worry.
Thanks very much, Davey. Thank you.
Yes, confident, very confident. But I'll stick with big Al's, I know. I'll do the other 6 too. Anyway, how you getting on, boys?
Aye, Davey, what's on your mind, mate?
I'm just trying to keep the blood pressure cool for tomorrow. See what kind of team turns up tomorrow. That's the worrying bit about it all, isn't it? But God knows, but something's got to go right soon, isn't it?
I hope so. Jaffa?
Davey, I think it's all about attitude tomorrow. It's for me, it's the ability of the players is no in question in my eyes. It's about who he selection, what selection he takes out, puts out there, and it's about the attitude of the players. If we get the attitude and we get the tempo right, I think it should be a comfortable victory. I honestly believe it should be. But too often we're on downfall with the way that we set games up and the way we start, and then we go a goal up and we sit back and we drift back and then we invite them on to us rather than going for the jugular and actually just trying to destroy them and put them away and go get another couple of goals and get a 3-0 on the board before half time. Then the game's over. Then you can bring on the Charlie McCanns at 65 minutes and whoever else might need game time. But it's about attitude tomorrow for me.
Agree with that.
Davey?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I would play the boy right away. I don't care. We're playing the ones. I've said that umpteen times. There's a lot of them out there run their race. And we keep on saying, it'll happen next time. he's got to give a boy a chance. If it's not there, he'll sub him. But his energy, he's got he's got it all gone for him. You know, we're talking about, who was it we were mentioning? Big Al mentioned about, what's his name? Oh, God, what's his name? I'm sorry about that, boy. I'm getting as bad as the bridge here. Sorry, no, it was, me. Oh, shit. I'm telling you.
That was it. Matondo, right?
No, Arfield. It was what Arfield, what you were saying about Arfield is, you'll get one half of him, but you'll get a full game out of that boy. And that's just my opinion, but I think we've got to start sticking with some of the boys, and the other ones have run their race as far as I'm concerned.
Southside.
Davey, I would like to think he would play Charlie McCann, but I don't think he will. And I think Charlie McCann will probably play the following week at Ibrox. He'll set a team up probably similar to what he's going to play against Liverpool, I would imagine. So that's how I see Charlie McCann not playing tomorrow. And I know it's a different game and it's about 3 points and you pick what you think's in form. And I agree, he'll give you energy, he'll give you fight, give you enthusiasm that a lot of them haven't, Davey. But I'm giving them all a clean slate. I'm expecting us to win tomorrow. I'm looking to get right in about them tomorrow, and I'm hoping we'll see a different Rangers tomorrow, and that's what I'm expecting. So, unfortunately, I didn't put him in my team, Davey, but I do understand where you're coming from, and I think it's time that he should start getting a bit more game time, but I think Ibrox is probably the place for him to now try to bed them in.
Could be right.
Bridgman?
Yeah, I said earlier, as far as I'm concerned, let me say it. We've got players available to us, and it's obviously down to the manager to pick them. I've already given my team. There's some players that I don't want to see ever playing for Rangers because I'm fed up with them all, if you follow me. But look, as I said earlier, we should have no fears, no matter what it is. We should be able to pick 11 players and then bring in our 4 subs on, our 5 subs, whatever it is, and we all should all knit together, no problem at all. That's what should happen. And I know it doesn't always happen like that, but seriously, that's what should happen. This is a massive game for Rangers, and our team should be up for it. No matter what, we should be up for anything. You get there and do them. Do them.
Davey, where can you come, mate?
Well, I just hope that what Suicide is betting, because the bookies have got them at 46, and they don't often get it wrong. So it'll be, as I say, it's a hard watch, isn't it? But we'll see once the game kicks off and see where we head to there. Because I must say, I know we're all going on about it's a massive game. They're all massive games. But every one we plays with Rangers is a massive game. So if it doesn't happen, but there's still a lot of games to go, then we'll go to see if it doesn't go right, what will happen then, who plays and who doesn't play. But I hope we don't get to that point. I hope we don't even get close to that and they turn up on Saturday.
I get that every game's important. I just think this could be a springboard. Jaffa?
I agree with that, Ox. Considering we got the lift there before the unexpected lift with them dropping 3 points at the greatest team in the world in Paisley. So I think they've got to kick on for that, and they've got to, as you said at the start of the show, we can actually go top of the league tomorrow. That's psychological. We're right on their shirt tails. So the players should be up for it. They absolutely should be up for it. I've got every confidence that they will be. I think we'll put a performance in tomorrow. I really do.
Southside.
Well, our last league game we won at Ibrox. All right, we're sort of looking a bit ropey at spots near the end of the game, but we all agreed that if we took the chances, it would have been 4 or 5. in that first half. It didn't materialise, but we still won the game. And I'm hoping the majority of that team that take the part tomorrow, McGregor, Tav, Goldstein, no played in international football. Kent no played in international football. Don't think Kolach did either. So if they're all playing, I don't know about Tillman, don't think he did. So we should have a good freshness about our team tomorrow when we put them on the park. And it's just about getting the 3 points, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a performance. Tight park, but we've got nothing to fear at all about going to Tynecastle. You know, what have we got to fear here? You know, we've been beating Hearts for years at Tynecastle, and now and again they turn us out. But I'm just looking at it as I think the players will be determined, and I think there'll be a good freshness about our team tomorrow, and I'm expecting us to win. I just don't see any other outcome.
I think we'll win tomorrow. I think we're getting caught up sometimes between results, Davy, and performance, and the performances haven't been great. I accept that. But tomorrow, I just want a victory.
100%. I mean, everybody's on the same boat there. But that's a $90 million question. Are they going to get that? But we'll see. I'm quietly confident in myself, but when you look at what's been going on, you go, who's going to turn up? That's what I'm worried about.
We get it, Davy. Big Al, we can't sugarcoat it. We know we've not been great this season, and I don't know if you put it down to injury, selections, recruitment, people off form. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, mate.
Every one of them that you said there, that's what accounts for where we are at the moment. Look, personally, I just think you have to draw a line in the sand at some point, and I think you should have drew the line in the sand about a couple of weeks ago. The squad is threadbare, isn't it? So, you know me, I'm a big proponent for the youth. I would have a cannon in them on because, like Davey said, and to a certain extent what Bridge was saying, and I really do appreciate Southside's loyalty. That's what I wish some of the players had the same ethics as the big man. But I think some of them are shot. Some of them are gone. They're not going to produce anything for us moving forward. So I think the manager, he's made a rod for his own back as well. So it's very difficult for me. I would be making a few changes. Look, during the week you were saying like maybe keep Kent's maybe needing a rest, and maybe that's what he is needed. But we're quite happy to play him in this game to try and get us out of the line, and he'll be playing against Liverpool. Now, where do we actually draw the line in the sand? For me, I think some of the players, their heads are gone. And when we've got a player like Buffalo sitting on the bench, I think he's got to be on the park. I know people say, "Oh, you can't do this kind of," but the best players have to be on the park. And if he's mentally there, I think he tears up a wee bit tomorrow. So he's got to change something, but I don't think the manager's willing to change much. I think he's going to fall on his sword shortly. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But
I played Buffalo tomorrow. I know you would. I don't know if you would in the south side or you don't think the manager will. Two different things, eh?
Mm-hmm. I would play him if we were playing two up front. I would play, but he's played up there with Cummins. He's played up there with Defoe. He's played up there with Roof. You know, and I did scored a couple against them at Ibrox and that and stuff. But the manager's just declared he'll no do it. He doesn't play two like that. So we just have to get on with it. And I know what you're saying, Big Al. See, the thing is, it's a massive game tomorrow. It kickstarts our seasons. I keep saying, we've not played well. We've had injuries. They've gave us a chink of light but they've had a full squad for the whole time. But we've got to get a team on the park and try and play them week in, week out, and that's what we've struggled with. But I think
the team's mentally short, mate. And
do you know what? They've all went stale, Big Al. See our midfield, it's properly stale. You know, they've all done a job for us, and some of them have probably done their job for us. But we've kept them now, so we've got to support them. We've got to get behind them. We've got to get them to try.
I'm behind them. I really am.
You know, and if we fling in, say, Leon King and Charlie McCann tomorrow, and we go to Tynecastle, we get beat. There was a meltdown on here for weeks because we were 5 points behind. You know, if we went there tomorrow and go beat, we played the two young boys.
I
it's
think
not
you
going
can't
to
just
get
look
well.
at it as a black and white like that, big man. I mean, if the two young boys, say the team perform a lot better than, and we see them perform, but we get beat 2-1 and we've hit the crossbar. I'm just using this as an analogy, but we've seen that the young boys or the team played a lot better. Well, that's improvement. We can't win every game, but it's impossible to win every game to a high standard. Even your Man City's didn't do it. But I think for the greater good, you've got to start changing it up, and that's where the manager is. He's worse than I think than Steven Gerrard was in regards to no, I don't know. Look, it's difficult. It's difficult, man. I'm getting frustrated here just thinking about it. But I think you've got to make a choice. Sorry.
No, it's all right, mate. Jaffa, in you come, mate.
Look, I hear the concerns with some of the midfield players and possibly keeping them, giving that extra year contract. And to a degree, I'm totally backing the south side here. We are where we are. There's nothing else we can do at this moment in time. We can't go into the transfer market. What we've got is what we've got. The injury list is the injury list. We've got to try and navigate our way through this the best we possibly can and put the best team on the park. And it's down to the manager to motivate the team and the backroom staff and the players themselves to get the bit between their teeth to go and win the championship back and get the league title back at Ibrox. Because that's what these games are all about. The more at Tynecastle, there's 38 of them. You've got to go out and navigate your way through the season. There'll be ups and downs. There isn't every season. That's a league campaign. But these games tomorrow, we've got to go out and play. We've got to go out and play the game and get the attitude right and win it. And that's down to the players. And I agree with you, Big Al. You've got to put your best players on the park. If Morelos is fit, I mean, we're all saying, I know Morelos has played with Defoe over the years. He's had different partners. He's played with Ruth. Has it been successful? Well, that's debatable if it has or not. But what the wee man brings he brings more than that to the team. If you're just looking at Morelos and saying, is it just goals you're getting off him? Or what else does he bring to the team? And who else does he bring into the team? I just looked at the fixture as the fixture. And the fixture usually at Tynecastle is it's intimidating. It's boisterous. They'll be up for it. There's no two ways about it. Everybody's up for playing against us because we're the biggest team in the country. So I would play guys like Morelos. I like him in the trenches because I think he does.
Is that not
what exactly?
Jaffa, see what you've just said there. Is that not what we're kind of missing? Is that link between our midfield and our forward line, i.e. Kolak? And is that not what everybody says Morelos is good at? Is holding the ball up, linking up play, make a bit of movement. Yeah. So
that's what
to me, that's a real asset. That's a real asset. That's how he established himself in the team. So that's a real asset.
Cholak's an out-and-out finisher. He's just a fox in the box, and that's brilliant as well. Having that in your team, there's absolutely no doubt. Cholak gets the start, gets the number 9 for me all the time now. He's a man in position. But I think you're right. I think what Morelos can bring to the game is a lot of what we've been saying. The link, the holding the ball up, the getting fouls, pulling players out of position, creating space for guys like Kent to get in behind, players like Arfield or whoever that may be, Lundstrom making late runs, whoever it may be, or even your Ryan Jackson, this if he's placed tomorrow. That was my interpretation, and that's the kind of team I would like to see him putting out tomorrow. But I'm going to caveat this. I actually totally agree with Southside. I don't think he'll play 2 up front. I don't think he will. I think he'll go with his rigid 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, whoever way you want to play it.
All right, and you come out, David?
I was just going to ask you, I'm not for what I'm agreeing with what Neil Everton is all getting said about the two, but I think when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, he'll not do it. But if we had to play Morelos and Kolak, who drops out?
I would have a 4-2-3-1, and my 4-2-3-1 would be Kent, Morelos, and I would have Arfield tomorrow, and I would have Kolak up top. So you could argue Jaffa's team, Scott Wright drops out, maybe Matondo, Tillman, depending on your setup. Southside, then Bridge.
Right, I've listened. Right, my take on it, if Alfie doesn't play up, backing into defenders, then you said you'd have him playing in midfield, Ox, right? Now, so we're going to play Alfie as a number 10. So everybody said on this panel, Alfie's good at holding the ball up. So he's going to have his back to goal all the time. What's Alfie no good at when he's running in and goal? What's he no good at? Finishing, right? He doesn't run around a goalkeeper. So he doesn't show any wee bit of invention. He just blasts the ball. So you expecting me to believe that Alfie's going to pick the ball up in that midfield and he's going to take players on or make wee passes and play 1-2s in the middle of the park?
No, I would expect him in that tight part to get up close to Cholak and play pretty much the way he normally plays.
So Alfie either plays right up beside Cholak and he plays a 2, or I just don't see how he fits in anywhere else. And I know in Europe he's played out wide and he's picked up balls and all that. I've watched that, right? I know, but he's playing up there himself. So I just don't see Alfie having the ball at his feet, looking forward and being very good at it and creating anything for us. I agree. So what you're saying is just give him the ball up at that spot in midfield when the ball's going to be at the back of him and he'll hold a man off. Right? And what else does he do then? He's not getting any creativity. I just don't see what users see.
Well, what I'd be dead with him was, as Ox said, I'd take him closer to Kolak than say closer to the midfield. I'd take him receiving the ball with his back to goal, playing that 1-2. He turns, the midfielder are driving forward. They pick up the ball off of him, and then anything can happen for there. Kolak's a fox in the box. You've got the free man, i.e. Morelos. The defenders don't know where to go because we've got two out-and-out strikers, two different styles of strikers, but it gives us a greater threat in the box. And we win the game 5-0. That's how I'd be playing it. And I'd be telling them, just do that. Just do that.
I'll second that.
I think nice variety.
Thanks, David. Thank you, David.
Nice variety of solutions there. I don't know what I hope we do. I hope we get a choice of the manager gives us something to pleasurable. I just know I would like to see Morelos playing. I know that Morelos isn't the greatest, shall we say, partner up front for anyone. Maybe because he's kind of greedy, he wants to shoot, and so on and so forth. That might be his forte. He might score, if he scores a goal, he could score 2 or 3. That's the way I look at Morelos. But he's got to be on the game. He's got to get on the game, and we need to do it. And as Big Al says, he does hold the ball up well. And for a while, I thought he was the best player, football-wise, and reading the game-wise, and from an attack, from midfield to attack. I thought he's the best player we've got, and I still think he's a very skillful player. We need him to come back to the levels he was at before. Don't know how we're going to get that. He might be ready now. I don't know. Let's hope he does. And I would like him to play, but when you say you could put him in midfield, why not? I don't understand why we can't. But back to what I said a couple of minutes ago there, he's well known for being a loner up front, and I don't know if he'll be able to play. I don't know if Cholak can play with a partner either. But that's why I was saying it's very interesting what the boys are saying, and I agree, but I just don't think it'll happen.
Right, okay, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, we'll see what it takes us tomorrow. At Southside, I'm not saying that Morelos is a perfect number 10 by any manner. I mean, I just think Would I rather have him on the park than Tillman? I think I would. Would I rather have him on the park than Scott Wright? I think I would.
Yeah.
If I was the opposition, would be more concerned about Alfie? I think I would.
I think I'd be more worried about him getting booked within the first 10-15 minutes playing the midfield role, if I'm honest. I just don't see with
I've not got him playing in a midfield role, mate. I've not got him.
I'll play him if the two of them can play. We don't know if the two of them can play together, if Joe likes a partner up there or no, right? We don't really know that. But if I believe at Ibrox, we should be able to play the two up front, and I believe we should be able to do it. And we should have even probably two wingers on the park at that time and all, at Ibrox against the Dross, and try and blood a Charlie McCann and a young boy in the team and at games going forward. But this is a crucial game tomorrow. So I just don't see Alfie being that sort of midfield player that you're talking about. And I think we brought a guy in who has got the hardest job, it seems, as a goalkeeper when he signs, to play that role. He's scoring goals. Now, if Alfie was fit, he'd probably have started the season, but he wasn't. So now everybody's trying to shoehorn Alfie into the team. And the guy's doing exactly what he's doing. He's scoring goals. The midfield have got to get picked properly. They've just got to start playing better. And Tillman, for me, is a good player. He's got vision and all that. He's got a bit of skill. He's still young. He didn't play a lot of games. So you've just got to bide your time with him. And I'd look for him to try and get on the ball more and create, because Kent's your other creator. And if we don't play a winger on the other side, you've only got Arfield making runs into the box. So I don't know what else he's all want, guys. But for
really
me,
created all season.
I know, but he is your creative player. I'm hoping the rest done him good, Big Al. Because see, if we don't play a Tillman tomorrow or anything like that, then well, who else is going to create in that team for a midfield that doesn't really create much? Kamara, Davis, Jack, Lundstrom, none of them. So we need to have a Tillman. You need a Lawrence on the park and a Tillman, or you need a winger on the right hand side that's no created anything, that starts creating for us. So Kent is the one that takes the pressure week in, week out. And we're going
to a bit of a paradox here, because earlier you were saying we have to create for the creative player as well.
That would be good if we could create for him.
Aye, I know. But when he does get into the position, he's not getting by MD. He did. There's something drastically up with Ryan Kent. So maybe just long shot here. We signed Matondo. Play Matondo on the left-hand side where he was signed to play. I believe he's a left-sided player. Give him a go. Just give him a go. It doesn't work. You can bring Ryan Kent on. But I think something's weighing very heavy on his shoulders. He is not up for it. I don't know what it is. He maybe just needs taking it to fire.
That much they're on his shoulders.
Aye, could be right. But look, I like Ryan Kent. Any man that punches Scott Brown in the face, he's a good man for me. So
we cannot.
It's been disappointing.
We cannot.
And you just can't keep doing that.
But I appreciate where you're coming from.
Oh, the sentiment, right? Sorry, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, but look, I feel frustrated for the South Side, because he's an avid fan. He's a home and away. I've got the utmost respect for him. I'm sitting here in Australia and I watch on the telly. He's there actually watching in the flesh, and I feel his frustration. But I just think at some point you have to draw. If we don't draw a line in the sand, I'm just saying day to day. It might be 2 weeks from now, but I don't know. I feel as if that player, especially Ryan Kent, he just doesn't create it. So what's the point of having him on the park if he's not creating? Give somebody else a wee go.
Can I just say something, folks?
No. Right, in you come, Jaffa. On you go, David.
I'll just want to tell Big Al I've sent under some Maltesers.
Well, I wasn't about to say too much here, pal, but wait till I get my hands on you.
Oh, I think there's a...
No. Just not
good on you.
No.
Good on you.
Yeah, just not. What I was going to say there is regarding, we're talking about Morales and no playing the two up front, and it wouldn't work. We'll never know if we don't do it. I was at a game when Jimmy Muller played in the Scottish Cup final in 1966. Rangers Kye Huntly scored the winner. Jimmy Muller was playing at left half, and he was outstanding. And he played all his life as a centre. If you've got the ability, you should be able to play anywhere. That's what's wrong with us. We've not got that ability, haven't we? That's what I'm saying.
All right, okay. Feel better for getting that off your chest, Davy.
Yeah, definitely. Did you not hear a difference in the way I'm speaking tonight?
No.
I've got my new false teeth in tonight.
I'm sure that'll entice Linda. Jaffa?
66 sizzling Swissy suppers.
Jaffa, right, okay. If we don't try it, we don't know. Listen, do I think Giovanni will do it tomorrow? No, I don't, but I would. I just think that the players will go in the park, the wide players, they haven't done nothing. Scott Wright, Ryan Kent, with the piece Matondo, and in the league games they have done nothing.
What about your wee Zambian hero? Is he not a good shout for them all? He'll take it to them.
Well, I don't think Gio fancies him. Jaffa.
I know, but that's wrong.
Clearly doesn't he? Because Sakala, I don't remember the last time Fashion Sakala had a start for us this season. To be honest with you, I don't recall it. Yep, I think the bore of frustration coming from a lot of us, how the team sets up is obviously paramount. I can hear it for us all. We've all got different versions of what we want to see, and I mean ultimately, I just don't think. And I think we've spoken about this on the show plenty of times. We're just not creating enough chances in front of goal. The chances that we are taking, Big Cholak is putting them in the net. And if it hadn't been for him and his goals that he scored this season, goodness, I don't know where we would be. I just want to see a bit more variety. I want to see a bit more goals. Ryan Kent, whether it be Malik Tillman when he was earlier in the season, he was shown that he had a goal in him. The big guy's clearly got some craft about him. And right at this moment in time, Sakala, why not? Give him an option. Get him on the park. He's got pace to burn. He's direct. We could do a lot worse than sticking Fashion Sakala in the team tomorrow.
Here, for all the Zambian listeners, Southside.
I think the Big Mackay doesn't fancy him being a striker, which I think he's full of enthusiasm. I think he's full of effort. I think he showed that he can score goals. If he gets it to the edge of the box, usually, he normally tries to shift it and he takes a shot. And that's what he normally does. And he's done it against Motherwell and he's done it against Tamer Pair and he's done it in a few games. Don't think he's an automatic starter, but I think he's an impact player. And I think that's probably what we needed at times. But we've always went back to looking at midfielders to come on, and he's not really had a chance. But I'm hoping that they'll maybe try and consider him. I don't know what he does at training, nobody knows. But the one thing I think he would give is 100% effort. And he's certainly proved in the past that he can nick a goal and be a pest against defenders. So he's just out the picture, and sadly, we're not getting a chance to see him.
We'll go to Bridge and then we'll be joined by AK.
Good evening, all, Stuart. Good evening, lads.
And you come, Bridge.
I'm taking somebody's spot. That just threw my mind away. I'm gone.
Right, okay.
I want Morelos to score a couple tomorrow if it's possible. It would do him the world, and the rest of the team. We would all think Kent misses him. He's trying to get his crosses in. I think Kent and Borna as well, crossing into the left because Morelos was their target as far as I'm concerned, and he's been missing. And I'll welcome him back tomorrow with a bit of luck. We'll welcome him back tomorrow and get a couple of goals off him.
All right, we'll be joined by AK. How are we doing, AK? AK.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening. I'm in to throw down the gauntlet to Southside.
No happening.
I've got
it's not happening.
Kills those killer Cooper in here.
Oh, we seem to have lost somebody trying to steal Southside's thunder. We seem to have lost AK. Don't know what happened there, Bridge. Don't know what happened there. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. Where were we? Right. Right. The defence. We've talked about Ben Davis. Now, our Billy's not a big fan of Connor Golson. I think he'll start tomorrow. But he is somebody whose form hasn't been great all season. Start with Jaffa, then we'll go to old Davy.
No, it's not been Ox. He's not been good this season at all, Connor Golson. Not to the levels that he had last season, or even the season before that as well. And again, I have to say, Connor Golson stopped chipping in with the odd goal here or there. I don't know when the last time was it he got his head on a cross coming into the box. I don't know when any of the defenders got their head onto a ball coming into the box. Again, he could do a lot better. And I go back to that point, Ox. It's all down to attitude, and I don't think his attitude's been right.
What you put your finger on? What you put your finger on for that?
Probably, to be fair to Connor, to be fair to him, I think the amount of personnel changes at the back, probably going to that zonal marking, I don't think helped anybody. So in his defence, but I think on top of that, his form's been stinking.
Yeah, all right, okay. He's back with us, AK? You back with us?
Are you letting me speak this time?
Depends what you're going to say.
It's a bit of fun, that was all. But if you don't want it, no bother.
Oh, we've got a copy of it, don't worry.
That's it, but it was just a wee bit of fun with the big man, that was all.
No,
I'm not trying to steal his thunder.
We'll get a copy of it, don't you worry.
But the listeners might want. It's no bother. No bother.
The listeners are on their uppers with Southside. They'll be even skinner if you get it.
Come on, we've got bills to pay with Southside. Big all right. But no bother. No bother. I'll be following you again, big man, anyway, but I like to follow a coot myself, Jim.
So I don't follow it for the football, mate. I follow it for entertainment value. Right, okay. What's on your mind for tomorrow?
I'm just looking forward to the game, obviously. It's obviously a big game. You nailed it earlier on there, Ox. It's no about the performance tomorrow for me. It's about the result, and we need a win. Anything less than a win's not good enough. Funnily enough, I would say on Tuesday is more about the performance than about the result, because let's be honest, it's highly unlikely we're going to win down there, but I'm expecting a good performance. We don't lie down to them, we make it difficult to play through us, and if we come away with a 1 or 2-0 defeat and we win at Tynecastle, I think that gives Gio a wee bit of breathing room with the Rangers support, because if we don't get a result tomorrow and we get an absolute thumping down at Anfield, I think the knives could be out for Gio, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, let's see. Tomorrow takes us first, then we'll look at Thursday. But Tuesday, I mean, I'll go to that game. I'll go to every game expecting the Rangers to win. Southside, we might know, but I expect them to win.
Aye. There's nothing to fear going down to Liverpool, Alex. No, if you go to fear, it's the Champions League. But
Bournemouth got the same, Southside. Bournemouth got the same.
You got to go with it. You got to go with the heart, mate. No, and Tynecastle first. That's the first one to go out the road. That's the most important at the moment. And nothing to fear got to Tynecastle either. We're on a bad run of form. We'll all accept it. Clean slate. We start back tomorrow. And there should be nothing but a Rangers win tomorrow. It's just, like we've said, attitude, application, and just get the job done, get the 3 points, and then we'll just move on. And then the European game on the Tuesday will take care of itself, and then we get back to league business. It's about winning 3 points in the league. We've got their run of games, as you say, Docs, and it's paramount that we win every single one of them. They're all winnable. There's no many hard games in there. A couple of tricky ones, but they're no hard.
Aye. I think it's time to get behind the manager. I know we've all got opinions. He's made mistakes, Jaffa, but It's time to get behind the manager. The Morris, the Cattle, the springboard in the league to drive his own. Look, we've not the worst start we've ever had in a league campaign. Let's be really honest, Jeff. Points wise, it's it's true.
Oh, it's fact, Docs. That is fact. We've not had the best. I mean, if anything, I probably think what's convoluting a lot of people's thinking is the performances. The results have not been. I mean, apart from the doing we got at their place, but listen, it's not the worst start. I mean, considering we got into the Champions League, which was a big bonus, and the performance that we put in against PSV, we know the team have got it in them. We absolutely know they've got it in them. They have. They've got great experience. They've gained great experience. They've done this before. They've just got to keep the attitude right for me. And if you, as you say, Ox, 100%, if we get a result tomorrow, we're 1 point ahead of them. The pressure's on them. And then it is a case of getting on. And as I said at the start of the show, if we win the next 9 games, we're 27 points, we'll be top of the league and we're on right. And that I'm convinced of.
Davey.
Can I just go back on to the Connor Goldson issue we were talking about why we think what's happening is what is happening. I believe it's all went, I was going to say something else here.
Percy? You going to say Percy?
No, it was something beginning with T, but up. But he was playing really, he was steady, and because he was wanting away. He kept playing, he was playing to get away. As far as that's my opinion. We gave him 4-year contract. And ever since he signed that, because nobody wanted him, and he realised that. And he jumped in, and now what he's got a nice bit of poppy coming in. And his game's ready, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not saying he's laid down the tools, but he's ranked rotten.
I don't think he's been. If we went to Connor Goldson in the next 2 games that played away in Eindhoven, Bridgman, then AK.
Absolutely, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the guy who gets some form back and get a partner for him, please. Maybe the boy Davies plays tomorrow, and then you're going to find there's a partnership there if he's as good as what he's made out to be. But you need a centre half. To goodness sake, we need to get a proper centre half in there, particularly left-sided if it's possible. And we need to. Your defence is just totally constrained. It doesn't know what it's doing half the time. Yeah. You need that wee bit discipline within the defence. People that know what each other can do, and so one tells the other, "You just go, I'll stay." That kind of thing. Rudimentary stuff, It's we need it. It's obvious, and it's causing all sorts of, shall we say, mistakes, particularly where Connor Goldson runs up the inside right channel, and Tav's slightly further forward of him. As soon as the ball gets lost in that area, neither of the two are in the game. They're gone. They can't get back, and it's just a nightmare for everybody else. So they need to get it right, hopefully. The Louis Davis will help out there until we get proper service.
AK.
Yeah, listen, I think it's actually part of our own problem. It's self-inflicted because Connor Goldson is, a mainstay in the team. His jersey's not really been under threat, but now we've got guys coming back from injury who are more than capable of taking the jersey off him. Look at the difference when Tavernier was out injured and young Patterson came in. Tavernier stepped up his level because his jersey was under threat. I don't think it would do him any harm, a spot on the bench. I'm not saying bench him for tomorrow, but in future games, and it's the same applies to Ryan Kent. If you go out there with the attitude, you're safe in your jersey no matter how you play, it's not going to make you play any better. Whether you drop you to the bench, it'll give you a jolt up your backside that you need to improve your game, surely. So, going forward, I don't think it's a bad thing if you look to consider dropping Goldson and Kent out of the team to get them up to where they should be, because we know they're capable players on their game.
Can I come in with the Goldson thing?
When you come.
Well, I think the club made a rod for the same back, and I don't blame Goldson here, by the way, because I'm all about cash myself. But he's in a comfort zone, as Alex said. There's nobody pressing him. Alex, I don't think even the defenders that they should be pressing him or even anywhere near coming back for injury. We've got a guy we need to wait for after the World Cup. Helander, I think he just needs to the pound and put down. But Golson's in that comfort zone. See when he signed that contract, he made himself bomb-proof for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
So good on him, great. But I think the club should have been saying to him, look, we'll give you a rolling year contract with incentives added to that, so it's beneficial to the club more than it's beneficial to the player. And if he didn't want to sign a thing like that, well, that's fine. An incentive-driven thing for him, because that would have kept him on his toes. To me, he just... Look, if you go to the cash line machine and see you've got X amount of money, he's a multi-millionaire now, isn't he? Set for life, him and his family and future generations. And good on him for that, but there's no incentive for him to go the extra mile.
Right, we'll just have a yes or a no, yeah, just for a bit of fun, you know. Would you give him an extension? I don't think 4 years was right personally, but would you give him a yes, an extension? Mine's is a yes. Southside.
Begrudgingly, I don't really want to say aye because you know my take on it. I never really liked him. I think he'd 1.5 good seasons. So no going forward, no.
You'd have let him go in the summer, yeah?
Aye, because I thought he was working his ticket up to then, so aye.
Old Davy?
A massive no.
Big Al?
Oh, I would have got rid of him 2 seasons ago.
Bridgman?
I would have kept him.
Jaffa?
I would have kept him.
Right, okay, AK, you're the man.
Nope. I would have hunted him after the Hibs game. Semi-final last year.
You know.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Right. Okay. Right. Predictions for the Mora. AK.
Hart says 2-1 victory. He says 1 each draw.
Right. Okay. Very positive support. Old Davy.
I'll go for a squeaky 2-0 for the Bears.
I'll take that, Davy. Big Al.
Oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
No. Bridge. Oh, forget it, Bridge. Jaffa.
I'm going for a 1-0, please.
3-1 to the Teddy Bears.
Southside went for 2-0. The Kovacs to store. What price did that pay begin? Because you're better
28.
I
know better than them, scorecast 28-1.
28-1.
Yep.
You nearly had it last week, Southside.
I know.
You must be playing for a third game.
What is it we use that take goals against the Rangers? What is wrong we use?
Because our defence is mince.
I know.
I know, but come on, Alex.
No surrender. No surrender. You never give an inch. Don't give a quarter.
Even draws. Oh, come on.
I know, draws, I know.
Positivity, Alex. This is a clean slate, man. The Bears are going to just go on their run. This is it. I can feel it, honestly.
Butterbeans went for 2-1 to the Rangers. Butterbean as well. What's
a good man, Butterbean.
Oh, one of life's gentlemen. Butterbean. David, good news for you, mate.
Carry on.
Steer Malteser special offer for Christmas on the big boxes, mate. So you get sorted, right? And remember, have a nice birthday, Davey, and we'll speak to you soon, all right?
Aye, okay, I better go. Here's a nurse with my hot water bottle again.
That's some joke, but say hello to Linda for us, Davey.
Hey, what I see her, she's pot ugly.
Don't be saying that about Linda.
No, she kind of looks like the wife, actually.
Right, cheers, Big Al. Thanks for the call, as always.
Aye, no, thank you. Great. Good luck, boys.
Yeah, speak to you soon, Biggin. AK, cheers, mate.
Aye, cheers for taking my call, boys. Enjoy the game.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Jaffa.
Aye, thanks for having us on, Ox. Great show. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. Always love the chat about the Teddy Bears. Let's hope for a big victory tomorrow, mate.
Here. Southside.
Aye, mate. Just like to say thanks for having us on with your good self and Jaffa and the legend, the Bridgeman. I'm looking forward to Tynecastle tomorrow and then a wee trip down to Liverpool. So, as we say, mate, fear no foe, and we'll just do this tomorrow and get the 3 points in the bag, Rangers. Let's do this.
Just to let you know, the King William tonic wine is flowing in the Drum Chapel area. Bridgeman.
Oh, okay. So listen, thanks very much for tonight, Oxford. Really marvellous show. And a big thanks to Southside and Jaffa for looking after me. And a good well done to the Techie boys and to everybody that's phoned. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, Jam Tarts tomorrow, biggest game of the season. Everybody get it going and get it up for them. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us, and they need us right now. Keep it going.
Right, okay. Once again, I hope I pronounced this right. A big shout out to Kayla, the newest member of the Rangers family, and mother and baby are doing fine, and so's Papa. This has been Rangers Radio. Thanks to everybody for joining this evening. Thanks to the technical team, Fox, Old School Blue, and of course the panel tonight, Bridgeman, Jaffa, and the one and only Southside. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 11:30 with a pre-match show, building up to a Rangers victory at Tynecastle. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it if we can. Win the cup, hold it up in our hands. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on